What up, guys? Welcome to my reaction series. Today we're talking about how modern women are broke. Modern women are trying to be strong and independent. They think they can do everything a man can do, but society still doesn't hold them accountable. Women spend more than they have, put themselves in student loan debt, and try to live some lifestyle they can afford because their mothers told them that consumerism would make them happy instead of a man. This is especially true of millennial women. Millennial women are between the ages of 28 and 44. They were the first generation of women with the freedom to do everything a man can do. When left to make their own decisions, they usually make the wrong ones, especially when it comes to finances. There are so many millennial women on social media complaining about being broke. Let's look at a few.
You know what I think we should normalize more on social media is being broke as fuck. Like, I'm in my 30s. I don't make enough to pay my rent. Nope, can't do it. I require the help from my parents. I also don't pay my own phone bill because, yet again, that's something that I can't afford. I am extremely fortunate enough to have parents who are willing to help me because I know that there's so many people in my situation at my age that don't have that and still can't pay their bills. I have a job. I have multiple jobs. I work for a company at 2 different locations, and I work pretty much any moment that I don't have my children. It is a minimum wage because I was a stay-at-home mom for 10 years, never got a college degree, really have no skills with anything. No workplace.
And a rainbow flag in the background. I'm shocked.
Skills, so I'm starting at the bottom. I work with high schoolers. It is a high school job. I scoop ice cream and make popcorn. I'm also a barista at the other location. I work Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Saturdays I always have off because that is my only day with my kids. I refuse to work on that day because I need one day to spend with my kids, like one full day, because they're not in school. On Tuesdays, I work for my dad as a handyman, or I do house cleaning. Because working 5 days a week, minimum wage is just barely able to cover my rent. Not even able to cover my rent. That doesn't even include my utilities. Rent is extremely high where I live. And I can't move somewhere cheaper because my kid's dad lives here and we have 50-50 custody. Now, another one of my jobs is doing this. I create content. I don't make much money. The only reason...
Most don't, by the way. Most content creators. I want you guys to know that there are some content creators that are ballin', but most are not.
The reason why I would make money on here is if one of my videos happens to go, like, viral. Like,
probably won't. I don't rate her as a content creator that'll make it. I kind of have an eye for these things.
Million views. Then I might make maybe a couple $100. Maybe. Right now, with how my views are, it's maybe $50 a month, if that. Last month, I think it was 20 because I don't have as much time as I used to devote to creating creative content. And now that stopped doing their I don't make anything from that either. Now, why am I saying all of this? It's not to complain. I'm not complaining. I'm actually very fortunate. I'm fortunate enough to be able to live in the apartment that I'm in because of the people around me who are wanting to help me. But I am talking about this because I think that it's something we don't hear a whole lot on the internet, on social media. When I scroll through TikTok, I see these influencers who are living ridiculously lavish lives, at least compared to me and how I live. Very lavish lifestyles. And you know what? I love that. I love that for them. There is a lot of money to be made out there doing content creation, just on the internet in general.
She's talking about hooking. She's talking about OnlyFans. She's going to get naked in some way.
And they've obviously worked really hard to get to that point in their life where they can live that way. But I'm not there. And I think a lot of people are not there. And I just think it's something that should be talked about more and should be normalized, especially people my age. We grew up thinking that when you're in your 30s, you get your shit together.
Well, because our parents did have their shit together by the time they're in their 30s. Us, not so much.
Like that's when you have your whole life put together. But that's not how it is. I don't have my shit together. My goal is not to own a house or drive a fancy car. My goal is to pay rent. I had the house and the car and everything. But after I got divorced, I decided to give that up and start my life over. And so now I'm living like I'm in my 20s. But I know that there
aren't we all? All right, let's see the next broke bitch. Sorry, guys. All right, let's see who's next. Let's face it, our generation is in a testosterone crisis thanks to modern lifestyle, poor diet, and environmental toxins. Low testosterone can sabotage your health and vitality. Reclaim your edge and bring your levels back to where they belong so you can live stronger, healthier, and with purpose. That's where Man's Edge from Neutronics Labs comes in. The powerful formula combines 4 clinically proven ingredients: fenugreek, IGF-1, NO2, and Tungcat Ali to ignite your body's own testosterone factory. Studies show fenugreek, along with IGF-1 and other clinically backed ingredients in Man's Edge, can help boost your testosterone up by 46%. Plus, Man's Edge patented liposome delivery has up to 98% absorption, far better than your typical powders or pills. So, you can actually feel the difference. Right now, you can save 50% on all orders when you auto ship and use my code PEARL. Get the edge today and don't settle for anything less. Visit getmansedge.com and reclaim your vitality today.
Hi, I'm Grace, and I am a broke, mentally ill millennial. I feel...
At least she's self-aware, right? She says she's a broke, mentally ill woman. I appreciate a self-aware queen.
In their 30s, And I very much do not feel like an adult, like put together, knows what's happening, has things figured out, has regularly scheduled appointments. Like, I still haven't clicked over to that version of Grace. Everyone seems to have their shit together and seems to know who they are and the path in which they want to go. And I feel like I'm just getting started. So, there's that. I will preface this by saying that my mom passed away recently. So that has made being a person extra hard. Extra hard. Up until a couple weeks ago, Grace was sleeping and working. And that's it. Like, truly, my schedule allows for me to just sleep the day away if I want. And I did. But here I am, out of bed, on the couch, making a TikTok, because ChatGPT told me to. I feel like I have enough life experience to warrant adulthood. I basically started over 2 years ago.
That's the thing. My generation was like the first generation that just lives in perpetual childhood. And the reason really is millennial women don't want to be in relationships or get married. Women in general don't. But women get more power just saying I can't find the right guy. And then it's like, the guys are like, here's a dating app where you can filter by height, ethnicity, hair color, eye color, you can filter out everything. And then the women just say, we're going to filter out everything. And the men are like, they totally want to be no, women don't want to be in relationships. And the men are just catching up.
Broke, as you could possibly imagine, completely mentally ill and unhinged. I can't stress that enough. I didn't think I would ever get here, which is living with my cats and my boyfriend in Center City, Philadelphia, the best city in the world. I'm not asking for feedback on that. Truly, Philly is everything to me. In a cheesy way, Philly is helping heal me. Oh, so cringy. So this is my journey.
This is always, women always have journeys.
And knowing who I am and what I want out of life, clearly. And just going after that shit. I definitely want to be rich. I'm very sick of being broke. But it's more so feeling better. Just better. And so I'm going to start taking steps to get myself closer to that. And I'm not going to start today because I'm just planning.
Yeah. All right. Let's see the next. I appreciate a self-aware woman. Broke Millennial Chronicles. All right. Let's go.
Who grew up hearing that if you went to school, if you got a good job and you stopped eating.
Yeah. Basically, the women said, we want to go to school like the men, right? And then the women went to school and they said, hey, this is too hard. And then, you know, the schools were like, all right, we're going to make this a little bit easier for the women. We're going to dumb this down for the ladies. And then the women are like, yay, easy college. And then they go to school and they graduate and they're like, wait, there's no jobs. And the schools are like, we did what we gave you the easy degree. We did what you want. You guys didn't want to learn. You wanted to glut, get drunk, take some shots. So we just made it as easy as possible. And the women are like,
that you will be able to afford a middle class lifestyle. And I'm talking about like maybe owning a home and vacations and things like that. I don't buy coffee. I don't buy avocado toast. I only eat out maybe once a month, sometimes twice. And by that, I mean that I go to a taco truck in the corner. And I'm so broke AF. I'm getting my stuff ready to go to my taxes tomorrow. And this is the most money that I ever made in my life. I've never made this much money before. But you couldn't tell because I'm still living paycheck to paycheck.
AKA, I have bad spending habits.
One car in my family. We don't go on vacations.
But your nails are done. Interesting.
Go to a taco truck and maybe to like a mom and pop's restaurant close to us. I go to Target once a month for the essentials, and sometimes I throw in like a $5 thing for my daughter so she can play with, and an extra big box of Cheez-Its for my son, and those are like little luxuries for the month. I don't have student loans. I don't go crazy buying things that I don't need. It's very frustrating, and I know how to survive with little because I grew up with almost nothing, so I know how to stretch $1. For example, today we ate enfrijoladas because we cut meat out of our grocery budget because we just couldn't afford to buy a bunch of meat. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, I worked a lot this past year to make this much money. And I have nothing to show because I'm feeling just as broke as I did when I was 19 working as a waitress.
Yeah. That's what happens when you guys pick easy. And the crazy thing is, we all have the choice to pick a hard degree, and then we're like, no, passion. The men went to college, they're like, what will make us money? Money, signing up. But the women are like, passion. Then we wonder when it doesn't work out.
It's 3:00 in the afternoon, guys. Forgive the zit on my face. I've barely had time to put some eyebrows on, brush my teeth, been at work all day. Today I have to do bills. I don't even know what the point of doing my bills is anymore because I don't have any money at the end, right? Like rent, cars, kids stuff, all of the things, and then Dave Ramsey tells me I need to get out of debt, and I can do that with my income. I don't understand. Like, I went to the grocery store, and it was $400 for a week's worth of food, and I promise you, I did not get brownies like I want to. You know, I didn't get a bunch of candy. I got, like, bare minimum
Post it. Let me see. What would you guys do if you were eating on a budget? My gut feeling is that it doesn't need to be $400, but I don't know. You guys tell me.
paper towels, toilet paper, like those are necessities. But it was $25 for fucking toilet paper. To wipe your ass, $25.
Yeah, everything is going up, but yeah. But this is the thing, you have to understand, women don't like men so much, and you guys have to know this based on our choices, but women want to not be in relationships so bad that they're picking poverty and prostitution over motherhood. That's what we got to kill, this idea that women want to be in relationships and marriage and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, look, women are picking poverty and prostitution over that.
Wipe your ass, $25. And I don't know, that'll probably last 2 weeks considering, my house is full of boys, but I just feel like we work.
Oh, maybe she's a mom. Single mom, I'm guessing.
I'm supposed to invest. I'm supposed to buy a house. I'm supposed to do all these fucking things. And I can't even afford groceries. And then people want tips for everything these days. 16 minutes I waited for a coffee today, and the girl looked at me like I was the devil because I didn't tip her. Like, it took you 16 minutes to get me one medium coffee. Like, I'm all about tipping for good service. I am, I promise. But not when it takes you 16 minutes to give me my fucking coffee. Now, if you're going to bring my groceries...
It was probably 8 minutes.
Fucking do anymore, but...
Wait, how is she getting coffee out? That's like the first thing that's got to go when you're trying to save money.
Fucking do anymore.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because my inclination is to, like, not believe women when they say they're saving because... I've just had too many women say they're broke with fake nails, I'm
a good tipper there. I understand that. That makes sense. You brought my fucking groceries to me. Thank you. Here's your 20% tip. Not 16 minutes for a coffee. Anyways.
Wait, why are you paying someone to get your groceries for you? Like, why aren't you going... There's holes in this story. All right, guys, so that's millennial women are broke and hopefully they can figure it out. But I want you fellas to know that it's really not your problem. So if any woman comes in and expects you to pay off her debt, please kick her butt to the curb. Like the video on your way out, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.